Our feature presentation, our speaker today, Tuesday, will be Kathy Perry, not Katy Perry. Kathy Perry, the superstar social media marketing guru Kathy Perry. Kathy is well known for taking the eek out of geek. Kathy works with business owners to maximize every dollar spent in marketing to get more clients, orders, using today's available social media technology at a fraction of the cost of traditional media. Kathy co-authored the successful book Stepping Stones, which she has some copies here for sale, with best-selling authors Deepak Chopra and Jack Canfield, among others. She is a featured Brain Trust member on the Small Business Advocate radio show. Also, she was on my radio show about a month and a half ago. It's a great show. You can go into the archives and listen to it. And is also one of the University of Tampa MBA leadership coaches. Please give a big yes welcome to Miss Kathy Perry.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah, I guess so. Well, I was exhausted, and after spending the night, all night long in the Lima airport, waiting for my flight to Cusco. And Cusco, Peru is in a valley at the top of the Andes Mountains. And our flight was coming in for a landing, and all of a sudden, the pilot pulls the plane straight up in the air. And all these questions are going through my mind, like, have we been just taken over? The plane been taken over? We're hijacked? Is the pilot gonna crash us into the mountains? Is it an omen about my upcoming dental work in Peru? Or maybe, what about my Facebook ads? And actually, Facebook advertising was not on my mind at that moment. But it was actually an omen of things to come with my dental work in Peru. And I have that story coming out in a new book. It'll be out in November. I am a contributor with that story, and it is quite interesting. So and my topic is counting our blessings. So we all need to count our blessings here. Today, and yes, as he said, my name is Kathy Perry. I am not Katy Perry. I will not be singing to you today. I only sing in the shower. But my topic is the ins and outs and ups and downs of Facebook advertising. And what makes me qualified to talk about that topic is I've been managing over the last year and a half a budget of over $360,000 of Facebook advertising campaign dollars with great success for my clients. And I thought I would start with one of the success stories just to kind of give you an idea of what it did for one of my clients. Now, this client was using newspaper advertising for probably 15 years, doing the same thing he'd been doing, which is auctions for property, real estate. And he had never had a problem getting traffic to the website to have people download information about that auction in the past. But you know what's happening today with newspapers, right? Not too many people are reading them. People aren't buying them, they're getting smaller, and it isn't driving traffic like it was. So he came to me and he had heard about me and he said, would you please help me, let's run a test and see what happens with a Facebook ad campaign. And this was for a property up in Pennsylvania that he was auctioning off. And I said, sure, let's do it. And in the past, if he wanted to measure success, he would say, okay, if 50 people come to my website and look at that information about that property, it'll be an okay sale. But if 100 people come to that website and look at that property, it's going to be a good sale. Well, we ran a test, and we didn't have a big budget. It was relatively a small budget compared to some of my other clients. And we drove 1,000 people to that website for that ad. And that's tremendous. And he always, he'll run, every once in a while, he'll run a campaign without doing Facebook advertising. Actually, he called me Saturday morning because he had a property that he tried with newspaper advertising and signs, and nobody was responding. He said, "Can you please help me? Let's run this. It's only 7 days. Do you think we can make a difference?" And actually, that auction is taking place this Saturday, and hundreds and hundreds of people have seen the ad now and have gone to the website. So, when you have those types of results, and clients are going, "Yes, definitely, please help me with this," it's really where you need to be. Now, I do want to clarify, if you market business to consumer, that's when Facebook advertising can really help you. If you market business to business, then Facebook might not be your audience. Facebook is really a consumer marketplace. It's where people are having conversations, and that is where 1.49 billion people are spending their time. And not only are they doing that, the revenue, the ad revenue that's being generated on Facebook right now is, I believe, over $4 billion. And it's pretty outstanding. The other statistic that I think is pretty telling is over 70% of all the advertising is on mobile devices. So everybody's using Facebook on their mobile device. So, and actually for some of my clients, it's even higher. Like when we do the statistics, 90% of the ads were shown on mobile devices versus a desktop computer. So this is all pretty significant. But if you do business to business, you might want to look at a tool like LinkedIn, for example. When I work with clients, it really is about where is your audience. It's always about where is your audience, because it doesn't help you to be advertising or being in a place that your audience isn't. So that's really where we begin. And it's about targeting that audience appropriately. I'm going to kind of talk about some of the different types of ad campaigns that Facebook lets you run, because there's lots of different objectives with Facebook. So I could run an ad campaign that I just want people to like my page. And I'm sure you've seen them before. First let me ask, how many people are on Facebook in this room? Okay, good. I'm glad that my audience at least is on Facebook, because I've given talks before and people didn't even know what I was talking about because nobody was on that social media. So that's very good. I'm happy to see that. So you know that people are always trying to get you to like their page, right? Well, back in the day, I'll say back in the day, this was 1.5 to 2 years ago when we're talking Facebook terms. It used to be that when somebody liked your page, if you put a message out, it went to all of them. Well, not today. Today, you have to pay to have them see that message. That wasn't, that did not make businesses happy, because they had spent time building up thousands and thousands of likes. That was their fan base, right? So now we have this fan base that can't see what you're posting unless you pay to let them see it. So that is a very big change that Facebook made. And so I can have different objectives when I'm marketing, and some objectives are, I want them to go to my website and see what I'm offering, right? Because that's really where I want to drive traffic. I want to drive business to the website. I don't want to keep them in Facebook world too much if that's not my objective. So most of the campaigns I'm running for clients is I'm trying to get sales, right? Everybody here understands, we want to try and drive traffic to get more sales. So I want to send them to a sales page or a website page to let them know what I'm offering, to make it easy for them. And that offer needs to be mobile enhanced, mobile ready, and this young lady here among you is a mobile web person, Cindy. And so that is a very critical thing, because 90% of those people are on a mobile device looking at your ad. And if they can't see your web page or your offer clearly, they're going to be off that page in a couple seconds. So, so that's one of the objectives, sending it to a website. How many clicks to the website? And they're always making changes to everything. There are so many different objectives when we're talking about Facebook advertising. I can do one for video views. Now, how many of you know that Facebook is in a huge competition right now with YouTube for video? They want to be the next YouTube. They want your videos to be uploaded in Facebook. They don't want you to put it in YouTube and then link it in Facebook. So if you're going to do a video ad in Facebook, you have to upload that video into Facebook, and you will get tremendous video view opportunities with them, like pennies on the dollar. I ran some video ad campaigns for a client. They were 2 cents and 3 cents a click. That's unheard of for a view. And they were sending just thousands of people. And compared to $1 a click to go to the website, or $1.60 or $2, it's really huge when you're talking about how can I get my brand out there easier? And video is just where it's at. Right, Al?
I believe that.
You believe that? Well, it's true. It's true. So knowing that, when you are doing a video, the shorter the segments, the better, right? People don't want a 2-minute segment anymore. It used to be you went, longer, and then they got shorter, and 2 minutes was okay. Now it's like 30 seconds is almost too long. 10 seconds is what Facebook measures when they charge you for the click, okay, for the view. If somebody watches your video for 10 seconds, that's when the charge happens. It used to be 3 seconds. They increased it to 10 seconds. Thank you, Facebook, for that. So, and there are many tools out there like Vine, which does just 10-second clips. So there's lots of that going on. And the attention span today is so much shorter, right? I mean, it's like this. How much time does it take you when you're scrolling through your search to pass somebody, and then you click on a site and it isn't what you want and you click off, right? Your attention span is shorter and shorter. So it requires you to think about that when you're doing advertising and you're trying to get the attention of your customer. How are you going to get them to stay 10 seconds or 15 seconds or longer? It has to be engaging. The content strategy when you're working on your ads is so critical. I spent time yesterday with a client, and this is a healthcare professional, an audiologist, and so we're trying to figure out the best way to get attention when she's running her ads. She had just been boosting some posts, and we all know you can boost a post. Everybody knows you can boost a post, and I can market it to a specific audience. But sometimes you have to be pretty strategic and say, okay, what do I want that content to say, and what action do I want them to take? So I need to have a call to action in there. So when you're doing Facebook advertising, there's so many different things to think about. And once you're inside the ad manager, you can target right into your client. Now, how many of you have created an avatar for your best client? Do you know what I'm talking about? We got a couple avatar people. Great. So you know exactly who they are, what they like, everything about their demographics. So it's more than just how old they are or what age group they're in. It's more than where they're located, in what zip code or what city. It's what do they like. Facebook gathers all this information about you. They constantly track everything you like, everything you buy, and you name it, they know it, okay? So when I go into the ad manager, I can say, I want to target not only the age range, like women between 35 and 65 plus, I can also say what city, and I could say, I want them to have liked maybe Entrepreneur Magazine, or Oprah, or People Magazine, or I want to know that they like dogs if I'm selling a dog product, or cats if I'm selling a cat product. I can put keywords in there which narrows down the search so that I can zero in on a target. Now, how many of you know that if I can get closer to the bullseye, I have a better shot of getting some clients, right? Absolutely, everybody knows that. And what does our traditional model of advertising, what was it? Let's just shotgun, throw it against the wall, see what sticks. A lot of people do that in Facebook. That is one of the hardest things I have getting my clients to do, because the mindset is still newspaper, right? They've been doing newspaper and they're going, well, everybody's a client. Everybody can use what I have, right? That's not true. The broader it makes it, the harder it is to market to them, because you're not speaking to them. Each one of those target audiences have different likes and dislikes. The more you can zero in with your message to the things they like, the easier it is for you to actually have them become a client. Is everybody with me on this? You're getting what I'm saying here. Okay. So because Facebook knows all this, as you're going through the ad manager, they will tell you how many people you're going to reach. So I'll start out and I'll say, okay, you know, if I just said all the women in the United States between 35 and 65 plus, it's over 57 million, I think. Well, I'm not going to market to all of them. But if I zero in on a city and I say I want a 25-mile radius of, I just did one, let's see, of Savannah, Georgia for a client, then that city, I only got, like, I think 130,000 women that qualified in that cone of 25-mile radius between the age of 35 and 65 plus. So Facebook's going to tell me that. Now, if I put another keyword in there and say, now I want to know, do they like Oprah? That's going to tighten it right down. Or maybe it's, and this particular client's in the healthcare industry, so it might be health related, a topic in health. And if I put in fitness, I might get a little broader cone. So as I add keywords, Facebook's going to tell me how many people will this ad reach, which is very important. And so when I'm working on a campaign for a client, you know, they'll say, well, why did you do 10-mile radiuses around here instead of just a 25-mile radius? For example, Dallas, I just did some campaigns for a client in Dallas, and I couldn't do 25 miles around Dallas because it was too many people. I couldn't zero in on my audience enough. So we did pockets of 10 miles around certain cities of high net worth people, high income. I wanted the median household income of those people to be higher so they could afford the service that we were offering. Does that make sense? So it lets you target to such a degree that you could never, ever have done this with the newspaper advertising, with television advertising, with all the traditional media advertising out there. You couldn't zero in the way we can now zero in with Facebook advertising. And they are doing it better than anyone. They are doing it better than even Google is doing it. And we have run campaigns to test different tools. We just recently ran a test to see how many people we could get to an event, and we ran newspaper, email campaign, Facebook advertising, Google AdWords, pay-per-click, and we also sent out some direct mail. Okay, the client did 5 different mediums. Everything except Facebook got 1 or 2 people to come. And they're not cheap to do some of these different campaigns. Facebook got over 50 people there. So when you look at the numbers and what it can do, the client's going, you know, I mean, the facts keep showing up. They keep saying, okay, they prove themselves over and over again. So you can target the audience, but you can also budget everything the way you need to, which I love. You know, you don't have to spend a fortune to test something or even to drive any traffic on Facebook. You can do it as little as $1 a day, but I would recommend $5. $5, Facebook likes that number. They say, okay, if they're going to spend $5 a day, it's going to drive traffic to wherever you want them to go. So I usually will set up a campaign, and I'll either say, here's my total budget, and let Facebook divvy it up, or I'll say, I want to end this campaign on a specific date, and I want to spend this much money per day. So I have some campaigns running where they're spending $200 a day. Another client spending maybe $30 or $40 a day. So when I put that information in, last night I was working on it for a client because I changed a few ads. We had a page post engagement ad running, and that means we made a post on Facebook and it had all the content there about the auction with, you know, the properties and everything. But that wasn't doing as much as I wanted it to, and I had created a regular ad that I could target specifically to drive them to the website. So I moved some of the budget from the page post engagement over to the ad and to go to the website. And it tells me, okay, this is how much you're going to spend, this much per day. So I could look at the budget and I know exactly how to bill my client. If I didn't have all that information, then that would be a problem. Yes?
Yeah, just a quick one, Kathy. I think a lot of people are confused about the private page, the personal page. Maybe you could talk about that.
Oh, okay. Well, certainly they look very similar. And many people, when you open up a Facebook account, you get a personal page. You must have a personal page to open up a business page, okay? So once you open up your personal page, then it'll say, would you like to create a business page. And once you create that, that's where your advertising campaigns can be, okay? They look very similar, but on the personal page, it'll say, do you want to be my friend? On the business page, it'll say, will you like me? So if you see on that page, I mean, they look almost identical, but if you see one that says friend, then you know it's their personal page. If you see it and it says like, then it's a business page. So that's a quick, easy test. Does that make sense? I hope everybody understands that and knows that. So
We're going to open it up for questions. Am I on, Al?
Oh, sorry.
We're going to open it up for questions, but before we do that, so you're saying, Kathy, that $5 a day can get you phenomenal results.
it can get you results.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, it's always in the numbers, but Facebook will tell you what that $5 will, how many people that'll reach, and it's going to reach, it might reach a couple thousand people.
Okay.
That $5.
Yeah.
So-
I have another question. You said Facebook tracks what you like. Do they track what you like? Push the like button?
Absolutely, they track everything.
Okay.
And they also buy data. They buy consumer purchase history data. They know what you buy outside of Facebook online. And so then they know what ads to show you. Have you ever seen an ad keep popping up? You were on somebody's site and you were looking for something, and then that ad's showing up everywhere. That's retargeting. So Facebook knows, okay, they want to retarget to this person because that person has liked something or looked at something on another page.
Can you talk to us about the dislike button that's coming on?
And actually, it's really funny because I just saw somebody saying they doubted the dislike button will ever get there, but it may.
What is the purpose for that?
There's just always people trying to say, can't I dislike something? Why do I have to just like it? So I don't know. Facebook changes the rules constantly. And like he mentioned before, I'm on the radio every month with the Small Business Advocate. That's what I cover on the radio, is all the changes that are taking place in social media and what's happening and how it affects a small business. So we've seen tremendous changes in their Facebook advertising in the last year. Tremendous changes. They've added something called relevancy. So if your ad isn't relevant, meaning that nobody is interested in it. That's why targeting is so important. If nobody's interested in your ad, it's going to cost you a whole lot more. And so they have a rating scale of 1 to 10. And I'll have the same ad running for a client in 2 different cities, and one relevancy score is an 8 and another's a 4. Same ad. But what affects relevancy is how did that audience respond? So if I open up an ad in a new city and everybody jumps on it and they like it and they're talking about it and they're clicking, that's going to be higher relevancy score, which means my cost per click is less. So it'll go, the same client, I'll look at all the ads that are running. One ad might be costing $1.65 a click, and another ad, the same ad, in a different city costing 65 cents a click. It's unbelievable how relevancy drives the cost of your ads.
One more question, then I'll open it up to the audience. What about the content of the ad itself? How important is that, and what should the content be?
The content's critical. And they have a lot of strict rules about the content. You cannot have, if you have an image in that ad, you cannot have more than 20% of that be text. So you have and I just had this happen. It gets hung up in review if there's too much text on that. They actually run it through a tool, and there's little squares, and if you go over the squares, that is more than 20%, then they reject it. So you have to start over again. It's better to have an image that has no text on it and have your copy be relevant to get their attention, if that makes sense. Yes?
Kathy, how do you charge your clients? Is it a percentage of the ads that are run, or how?
I guess it depends sometimes on the client that I'm working with and what we're doing. Some of my clients pay per ad because that's the way they run their business, and they charge their client on each property. So that client is, per ad. Other clients, it's a monthly retainer, and we're just running ads, a bunch of ads. So I can't really say that it's, there's a defined way to do it. It depends on what my client's needs are to make sure that I'm handling them appropriately. Yes.
Yes, Kathy, you mentioned Facebook will charge you if people watch your video for more than 10 seconds. Is that on the Facebook business page, and is that only for sponsored ads or just any video you put on there?
This is only sponsored ads. Okay, sponsored ads, if you, see what they did is they added all of their ads right into the news feed. The ones on the right-hand column I never advertise in. So the right-hand column ads, nobody pays attention to, right? They're an annoyance. But the ads in the news feed look like your friend posted it. They want it to look just like, oh, a friend of mine did this, so it's okay. But there's a little word that says sponsored. So as you're scrolling through your news feed, if you see an ad you like, or you see a content you like, and it says sponsored, it is then an ad, okay? That's how you determine it. And you don't pay for anything that you haven't put in the business manager as an ad, right?
Are there any figures between the number of likes or hits that turn into, tell you how much percentage turn into actual sales?
They actually have, in the ad manager, you can put a pixel on your page that you're sending them to, so you can actually find out how many people actually went to that page. And you can also put a pixel on your, after they made the sale page, so that you can actually track everything from not only how many people actually went and looked at it, but how many bought from that ad. Yes, they have full tracking on everything is available in there. Yeah.
Hi there. I had a question about using Facebook ads to grow my Facebook group. I sell high-end coaching packages,
Yes.
and I'm in the kind of call me stage, but I want to
Yes.
also be list building. How could I use Facebook ads to grow my group? Because these are women all over the world that I serve.
It's you're actually directing them to wherever you want them to take action. So your call to action would be about joining the group. So it's no different than me wanting to send them to a website. You have a specific link for your group, okay? And you must have a sales page or something on the front end of that group. So you would actually do it there. You would put that link as the call to action for the thing. Yes?
Hey, Kathy. I actually have a three-part question, quick and simple. How long have you been working this type of marketing?
I have been in technology for over 25 years. As everything has evolved, I began to specialize in online marketing in 2009, and then I actually focused in on social media marketing. I take it back. 2007, I did online marketing. 2009, I specialized in social media marketing. And then my clients have kind of driven me more and more into Facebook specialties, but I do a lot more than just Facebook advertising.
Okay, so you've been at this for a while. This is
I
not anything
have-
new
no,
for you.
I've been-
I mean, the whole technology front.
Yes,
Okay, so
I've
then the
been-
next question should be real easy. What are the businesses that you find that are getting the most value out of this type of marketing? What kinds of businesses?
You know, it really is across the board. But the businesses that it depends on, you know, who you're marketing to. Business to consumer, obviously in Facebook, you know, I can't even say it's one industry. It's not. It's many, many different industries, from selling products to services to whatever it is. So I've seen success across many, many different industries, so I couldn't even say there's one industry. And again, if it's back to who is your customer, who you're trying to reach, and where are they online.
But again, it's products and services that are going to the consumer, the end user,
For
that you find that
Facebook
predominantly most
primarily.
successsul?
Facebook primarily. For LinkedIn, business to business, great success for building new clients in LinkedIn. So no, it doesn't have to be a product or a service. It can be anything that you do, any type of marketing that you need done. Online marketing and social marketing is how we're communicating today. It isn't the way it used to be. So
Right.
you have to use it as a media.
Okay, and if you could just give us an idea of a comparison, if you will, of Facebook versus Google advertising, and whether you actually utilize Google in your program or not.
Well, I truly, personally avoid Google pay-per-click at all costs because it does cost more. And it is not as tight of letting me zero in on my target audience the same way. The other thing is Google has a lot of networks, and so I would say use Google's tools differently. So use them for SEO, use them for getting you to the top of the page as opposed to paying for pay-per-click. That's the way I use Google. Yes.
I was just going to add on the social media type marketing, especially Facebook. I think a good way of looking at it is, in the past, people used the yellow pages,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And they used billboards.
Yes.
Well, those are gone. Your new yellow pages, your new billboards is
It's
basically Facebook.
Absolutely, absolutely. I also wanted to mention, I do have some handouts with Facebook tips on it for you. So there's, they're going to pass them around. And then there's a second sheet, which is a special offer from me on, you know, I do Facebook page reviews, website reviews, and social media checkups. So that's in the special offer for this group.
The ads that we have done in the past, we used to use the print medium, and we pretty much, for the most part, we are completely out of that. We do pay-per-click for our
Right.
catering, and there's a certain payoff for that,
Right.
that business, but there's larger margins and bigger parties for catering.
Right.
In the restaurant business, though, we've been very successful with Open Table, but we pay out the ear for those people that come from Europe that are familiar with Open Table. My question to you is, if I wanted to structure a deal with you or someone in your business, and I would say, look, I'm willing to do the pay-per-click, but it's got to be meaningful to our business, and I'm willing to pay you a fee, but the margins in our business, for example, in the restaurant business nationally, it's about 5%. We don't have a lot of room to work with
Right,
there.
right.
Have you been able to help people in the restaurant business get through that hurdle?
You know, I haven't done a whole lot in the restaurant industry. I've worked with healthcare, with real estate, with, you know, a lot of variety of businesses, but I think there's huge opportunities in the restaurant industry. So I'd be happy to talk to you offline about some of that.
Okay, Kathy, will you be able to stick around for a
I
little bit
will stick
afterwards?
around, and I do have some of my books available if anybody would like to purchase one.
Yeah, talk about the book just for a second.
Okay. I was selected to in a nationwide search to participate in this book with Deepak Chopra, Jack Canfield, Dr. Dennis Waitley, and several others. And it really allowed me, you know, everybody says, well, why would you be in a compilation book? The thing is, this book gave me an opportunity to get in on radio And if I wouldn't have had been a published author in a book, you just don't get on radio as much. And I've been on the radio with the Small Business Advocate for over 5 years, and they are my client now because we have such a long-term relationship. And when he introduces me, he said, not only is she a great social media person, she's my social media expert, which you can't buy that type of endorsement.
And that's Jim Blassingame,
Jim
by the way.
Blassingame, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Kathy. Give Kathy a big hand clap.